Thank you for joining me on another episode on my channel. Demi Lovato hospitalized after overdose. Her hospitalization has brought back many memories of the Disney stars who have fallen over time. Disney's winning formula presents young, perfect, and talented girls. But the dissonance between growing up as a Disney princess and adjusting to an adult life is stronger than one would expect. It is a road that has many discordances and unhappiness, and some may say that Disney leaves its young women broken, anxious, and often addicted. Now, this is not the case for every real-life Disney princess, but it is startling that so many fall off the wagon. Disney is really a star-making machine that boasts powerful track records as the company creates TV shows and singing careers around young girls. One could say it is a machine that has for decades proven effective in generating millions and millions of dollars while providing young girls with the ideal role model. But the pressure that stands inside these machines is so great that the pressure mounts to rinses and repeats like a drug addict's memoir. Falls from grace take multifarious forms, from awkward new photoshoots to altercations with the press, battles with drugs and DUIs to scandalous tell-alls and alarming overdoses. How is a Disney princess made? Well, for many of them, they start out wearing the mouse ears. It is a tough job that begins at a young age. Eager and talented child actors are corralled into TV show roles and coached in acting, singing, dancing, as well as other strange and detailed levels of personal and professional comportment. Outside of their acting duties on Disney shows, many of the children are groomed to intermingle their personal and professional lives. These stars have to follow a regime that tells them what to eat, how to appear innocent during interviews to avoid difficult questions, how to run a social media account. Now, many critics will suggest that their friendships are controlled and concealed from the public. In fact, Joe Jonas, in his tell-all for Vulture in 2013, noted that if these child stars were to write music, then Disney would control whether it was released or not. Disney controls the lyrics and whether the music is beneficial or not for Disney. Demi Lovato now and Selena Gomez, the shocking truths. Movie star, a pop star, and a Disney princess overdosed on the cocktail of drugs. Now, this is a method of delivery where the user crushes pills and powders and smokes them off a metallic instrument like a spoon or through a crack pipe. Now, many of these Disney princesses have done this, and some have kept it well hidden. But, surprisingly, Lovato's Barney co-star Selena Gomez has also experienced her own personal traumas, suffering from acute breakdown following the split from Justin Bieber, who is another child star, in 2014. A year after her first visit to rehab in 2015, Gomez told InStyle that she was dealing with emotional scars from her life on Disney, which saddled her with constant personal anxiety. Now, Britney Spears is probably the most popular, as in 2002, after a very public breakup with Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears stuck out on her own in various strange and sexy ways. She open-mouthed kissed Madonna at the VMAs in her lingerie, and then she married her childhood friend and had that marriage annulled just 2 days later. Her life and behavior in this period is well chronicled, but by 2007, with a second divorce under her belt, things were just not looking good for Britney Spears. So she checked into rehab, but checked out a day later. She hit the streets of California, where she entered a salon and shaved her head. Days later, she attacked a photographer's car with an umbrella. Spears' former manager told the court through his lawyer that Britney Spears was addicted to speed, and this was her drug of choice. Her breakdown was public and drew many confusing inspirational messages where people once would say, if Britney Spears survived 2007, you can handle today. 11 years after the event, Britney remains under her father's guidance. He controls her finances and her day-to-day life. Now, Miley Cyrus is one of the more controversial ones. She used her 2013 Rolling Stone feature to go into details about her not-so-casual use of drugs. She said that I think weed is the best drug on earth. Now, drugs are no joke in Hollywood. Young starlets often forget that their habits are illegal and that they have many teenage fans who worship and who look up to them. Cyrus points to her experiments with coke, weed, and Molly, too. Disney real-life princesses are coached from a young age to make decisions based on brand and the show. As such, Miley Cyrus, she struggled with her Hannah Montana persona while trying to make her own career while working for Disney. Lovato and drugs. Now we're back to her because she spoke candidly about her addiction in her documentary, Demi Lovato, Simply Complicated. Now, like a lot of addicts, she admitted that her behavior became criminal and her whole life seemed centered around drugs. She notes, I was sneaking cocaine on planes. I was sneaking it in bathrooms, sneaking it throughout the night. I went on a bender of like 2 months where I was using daily. I was using while I had a sober companion, and I went through about 20 different sober companions. I would sneak out and get drugs. I would fake my drug tests with other people's peas. Now, this is interesting because for her to admit all of this, it means then that she would have understood that that she would have learned that death is a final reality for addicts of hard drugs, and the severity of addiction can be difficult for non-addicts to grasp. As Lovato relapses again and again, many of us will not understand. But her habits have become more extreme, and many people really do not understand the fact that she has been readmitted to facilities. Her public statements have become more self-effacing and bleak, and her language more confessional. The truth is, people, when you have become addicted to drugs in such a way, there is really a hard road to travel on. It's hard to go back to being without the drug. In 2015, Demi Lovato spoke about her struggle with her mental health and her diagnosis of bipolar affective disorder. Now, Miley Cyrus seems to have cycled through half a decade of wildness. She has had her public breakup with Liam Hemsworth, her fetishized and televised performances in rubber G-string onesies, she's twerked with dildos, straddled giant prop tones, and huffed joints on stage. And Britney Spears has astoundingly survived her addiction, breakdowns, and the constant swarm of paparazzi and fans that will shadow her every move. Now, does that mean that there is hope for these Disney stars once they have recognized the value and once they have the proper guidance to go through? We wish Demi Lovato all the best, and that her drug overdose, her recent drug overdose, will be the last of such, as that she will recover. Her rehab program, we wish, will work in her favor, and that she too can make a comeback then, not as a Disney princess, but as a Disney queen. Stay with me as we look at some of the Disney stars through their picture stories.